What's up, guys? So, training this week, a little bit less cross fatty, even though we're going to start with some standing box jumps. I think this next one, my brain completely shuts off mid flight there. Yeah. Um, anyway, Sundays or normally the day, like I really do all the carries and pulls and things of that nature and some cross fat supersets, etc. It was raining Sunday morning, so access to the outside area wasn't happening. I mean, I guess I technically could have, but slip and fall risks. I don't think the gym owner would appreciate me getting the equipment out in the rain and all that stuff. So it really wasn't a thing. So this week is definitely a bit more traditional powerlifting looking after the box jumps. I did prioritize the box jumps. They were the first thing I did. We did pause deadlifts with 495, triples, which this was 40 pounds more than I used last week. Deadlifts are the one thing when I'm cutting that they still feel okay. Like I've lost strength on them, don't get me wrong. Like my top end strength isn't the same as 20 pounds ago. But the positioning is much better. So they don't feel like shit when I do them. And of course, they're not loaded on the top of my back like squats or anything. But I did those with holds at the end. And again, I'm not concentrating on staying paused for like X amount of time, like a 3 count or anything like that. Just a little baby pause after I break the floor. Really helps with positioning. Really helps on not being overly reliant on the momentum off the floor. And then when you transition to, just pulling straight up off the floor with no pause again, it feels so much better. And I pressed for the first time in a couple weeks. My shoulders were feeling a little bit better. So I decided I'd give some light Larson presses a go. I just worked up to 4 plates. That's always my last warm-up set. Just a 4 plate single. Then 3 plates for 3 sets of 10. Honestly, like here, having not pressed in 2 weeks, my strength still felt, relatively good to where my body weight's going. Stamina wasn't there. Like that 405 was easy. I could have, done somewhere between 445 and 475 if I wanted to push a heavy single. But stamina was not there. These tens felt horrible. Like again, the first couple reps, no problem. But getting, reps 7, 8, 9, 10, it was a little rough feeling. And that's just, lack of doing them, lack of practice. The stamina will go before the strength, and, stamina comes back easier too. I'll probably press again this week. Being that my shoulders are feeling, they're not all the way 100%, but they're definitely not feeling as shitty as they were. I threw in these little bamboo bar presses to try to help facilitate them feeling better. It's not one of those things like they do feel kind of relief like immediately after doing it, but you don't know like how good it's working until you've done it for a while. Pause with 505. That didn't feel too bad, honestly. But squats in general feel shitty when cutting. It's just part of it. And I dropped down. I dialed back the working set weight big time. 365 for a Ripito special 5x5. Sets 1 and 5 felt like shit. So sets 2, 3, and 4. They were kind of hit or miss, but they didn't feel bad. Like it moved well. I felt like I hit my groove in a couple of them. I'm cutting these a little bit high for the time being. I'm letting my body, adjust. Once I settle at a body weight. And I think a couple of these I probably still hit depth. But it's not something I'm really concentrating super hard on making sure I'm doing until my body weight settles. I don't want to force positions my body isn't used to. Like I said, I'm accustomed to having some cushion down there, and I can just drop it like it's hot. And, hamstrings are hitting calves, and belly's bouncing off thighs, and it's not dangerous feeling. Not having to force it, So, again, once my weight settles and I can practice at a consistent body weight, work with a smaller weight and working my way up there. And, when I have a meet in sight, I'll definitely dial that in.